There is an island in Laos where nobody drives cars, where electricity came only 15 years ago, where life moves at the speed of a bicycle. Some people say this island is 50 years behind, but after spending 1 week there, I started asking a different question. Behind what, exactly? This is Don Det, a 3-kilometer-long island in southern Laos. 4,000 islands region. Population, maybe 1,000 people. And it completely changed how I think about time. Chapter 1. Arriving in a place time forgot. Getting to Don Det requires commitment. From Paxi, you take a bus south for 3 hours. Through countryside where water buffalo outnumber cars. Through villages that look exactly like they did decades ago. You arrive in Nakasong, a tiny port town. From there, you take a long-tail boat, 15 minutes across the Mekong River, past fishing nets, past small islands, past fishermen who wave. And then you see it. Don Det, bamboo bungalows on stilts, palm trees, hammocks everywhere. Not a single car in sight. The boat drops you at a wooden pier. You step off. Someone offers to carry your bag on a bicycle. You walk down a dirt path, and immediately you feel it. Slowness. Not the frustrating kind of slow. The exhaling kind, like your body remembers this is how life is supposed to feel. Chapter 2. Life with no cars, no Wi-Fi, no hurry. Don Det has no cars. Zero. The island is too small. The paths are too narrow. Everyone walks or bikes. At first, this felt inconvenient. My bungalow was a 10-minute walk from the main area, carrying groceries, walking in the heat. But by day 3, I realized something. Without cars, there's no traffic noise, no honking, no engines, no exhaust fumes. Just birds, river sounds, bicycle bells. The internet exists. Barely. Wi-Fi works sometimes. When it rains, it stops. When too many people connect, it crashes. Most of the time, it's too slow to load Instagram. Day 1, I was frustrated. Day 3, I stopped trying. Day 5, I forgot my phone existed. And something strange happened. I started noticing things. The way light hits the water at 5 p.m. The sound of rain on a tin roof. The taste of coffee when you're not scrolling while drinking it. Don Det doesn't have much. But what it has, you actually experience. It arrived maybe 15 years ago. Before that, the island was dark at night. No lights, just stars and moonlight. Now there's power, but it's unstable. It flickers. Sometimes it cuts out. But people don't panic. They light candles. They keep talking. They go to sleep earlier. Bor Pen Yang. No worry. Chapter 3. What people do all day. Nothing. Everything. So what do people actually do on Don Det? Nothing. Everything. Let me explain. My typical day. Wake up around 8 a.m. No alarm. Walk to a cafe. Order coffee and a baguette sandwich. Sit. Watch the river for an hour. Rent a bicycle. Ride around the island. It takes 45 minutes to circle the entire island. Stop whenever something looks interesting. Swim in the Mekong. The water is brown. You can't see the bottom, but it's warm, refreshing. Local kids jump off piers, laughing. Lunch, usually fried rice or noodles, $2. Eaten slowly, sometimes with other travelers. Conversations that last 2 hours. Afternoon, find a hammock, read a book, fall asleep, wake up, read more. Or don't read, just lie there, watch clouds, listen to sounds. Sunset, everyone gathers by the river, with a beer Lao, $1.50. Nobody talks much, just watches the sun go down. Dinner, more rice, more noodles, maybe fish, then maybe a bar with slow reggae music. Or maybe just back to the bungalow, asleep by 10 p.m. And you know what? It was the best week I've had in years, because I did nothing. And somehow, that felt like everything. Chapter 4. The People Who Stayed and Why. Don Det attracts a certain kind of person, not the 3 days in every country backpacker, not the luxury resort traveler. The people who stay are the ones who came for 2 days and never left. I met Sarah from Germany. She arrived 6 months ago. Just passing through, turned into half a year. She works remotely when the Wi-Fi allows. She lives in a $150/month bungalow. She bikes to the market every morning. I have everything I need here, she said. Why would I leave? I met Tom from England. He's been on Don Det for 3 years. He runs a small guest house now. I worked in London for 10 years, he said. Made good money. Hated every minute. Here, I make almost nothing, but I'm happy. Then there are the locals, born on this island, never left. They fish, they farm, they run small businesses. They've seen travelers come and go for decades. Some travelers think the locals are simple, but I watched a fisherman repair his net. The precision, the patience, the skill. He doesn't know how to use Instagram, but he knows the river better than I'll ever know anything. Is he behind, or does he simply know different things? The children play in the river after school. No iPads, no video games. Just swimming, climbing trees, catching fish. They laugh constantly. I saw a kid, maybe 7 years old. He was steering a boat by himself. Confident, skilled, responsible. In the West, 7-year-olds need help opening juice boxes. Different doesn't mean behind. Chapter 5. Is this 50 years behind or something else? So let's address the question. Is Laos, is Don Det 50 years behind? Behind implies a race. It implies everyone is running toward the same finish line. Technology, development, GDP growth, efficiency. And by those metrics, yes, Don Det is behind. There's no Starbucks, no Uber, no Amazon Prime, no high-speed internet. But let me tell you what Don Det has. Time. People here have time. Time to sit by the river. Time to watch their children grow up. Time to repair a fishing net properly instead of rushing. In the West, we have everything, except time. We have smartphones, but no one to call because everyone's too busy. We have streaming services, but no time to watch. We have productivity apps to optimize every minute, because we've run out of minutes. On Don Det, I saw a man sitting on his porch, just sitting, for hours, not on his phone. Not doing anything, just existing. In New York, people would call that depression. On Don Det, it's called Tuesday. So is Don Det behind? Or did we leave something behind when we raced forward? I'm not romanticizing poverty. Don Det has problems. Healthcare is limited. Education is basic. Young people leave for cities because there's no opportunity. Poverty is real here. But poverty and peace are not opposites. And wealth and happiness are not the same thing. Don Det is poor in money, but rich in time, in community, in peace. The West is rich in money, but poor in all the things money can't buy. So maybe the question isn't, how far behind is Laos? Chapter 6. What Don Det taught me. I came to Don Det for 1 week. I left with questions I'm still trying to answer. Do I need Wi-Fi everywhere? Or do I just think I do? Do I need to be productive every moment? Or is rest a valid way to spend time? Do I need more things? Or do I need fewer distractions? One afternoon, I was sitting in a hammock, doing nothing, and I felt guilty. I should be working, creating, producing. But then I realized that guilt is programmed. It's not natural to feel bad about rest. We were taught that. On Don Det, rest isn't lazy. It's normal. Sitting by the river isn't wasting time. And maybe that's what we've forgotten. I also learned that happiness is not a destination. In the West, we think, I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when I buy the house. I'll be happy when I retire. Always later. Always conditional. On Don Det, people are happy now, not because their lives are perfect, but because they're not waiting for perfect. A fisherman with a worn boat is happy. A grandmother cooking rice is happy, not because they have everything, but because they have enough, and they know it. Don Det taught me that enough is the hardest word to learn, because there's always something more to want, always somewhere more developed to compare to. But enough is freedom. Conclusion. The island that stopped time. So is Laos living 50 years behind? I don't think so. I think Don Det is living in a different direction. Not forward, not backward. Just slower. And in a world that's sprinting toward burnout, anxiety, and endless consumption, maybe slow is exactly what we need. I spent 1 week on Don Det. I arrived thinking I'd be bored. I left thinking I want to live there. Not forever, but long enough to remember what life feels like when you're not racing. Don Det doesn't have much. No cars, no stable Wi-Fi, no Amazon delivery, but it has something we've lost. Time, presence, peace. And maybe that's not behind. Maybe that's ahead. This is Don Det, the island that stopped time. And I'm grateful it did. Thanks for watching.